Hey folks, it's your main man E here, and I'm here with the lovely Junie. Junie is a dog that we worked with before, and she disappeared, but she came back now for more training. So I want to go over the remote collar with Junie, and I really want to talk a little bit about her as a dog and what's been going on with her and why is she struggling. You see, Junie is the type of dog that. What's up, folks? It's your man Manny, and I'm here with the lovely Junie, aka June Bug, aka June Bear. Now, the thing about Junie, and like a lot of dogs these days, is that we're not really always focusing our attention and our effort in the right places. A lot of times, myself included, the things that our dog does that get a lot of our attention are the unwanted behaviors, the things that frustrate us, cause us to question everything. Okay. And unfortunately, when we're training, we always want to take a step back from the area that's frustrating us, and we want to make sure that we've mastered the basics. There's a saying, and it says, excellence is mastery of the basics. And whether you're a dog trainer like myself and you're struggling with your own dog, or you're just an amazing owner who's got a slightly challenging dog like Junie, you want to make sure, have I mastered the basics? And time after time, we find we master the basics and we don't even have the problem that we initially had. It pretty much goes away on its own. Okay. So one of the basic things we master with every dog is obedience. That means we know how to tell them to do a command. We know how to tell them to keep doing a command, to hold a command. We know how to tell them when it's time to release themselves from a command. We know how to tell them, hey, you did good and I'm going to give you a reward, and that reward's over there. Or, hey, you did good, I'm going to give you a reward and I got a toy or I got food here for you, okay? But the other part of training is telling the dog, no, don't do that, do this. No, stop doing that. No, don't break your command. So whenever we are practicing with our dog training, we always really want to think, hey, how can I make this a very simple, successful training session where we're feeling good and it's going to make me want to go back and train the dog because I want to work with the dog. I want to train the dog. The training session was fun. And the dog's also going to be like, hey, I want to train more. When our training surrounds these areas where the dog is frustrated, it doesn't motivate us to train because we're frustrated, the dog's frustrated. That's really the worst time and place to work on anything. Now, that's not to say that at some points we can't correct the dog and stop behavior. We for sure can. But even corrections, we want to introduce and master with the dog when we're not frustrated and they're not frustrated. Okay. And this is something I'm still working on to this day. So I've got my remote collar on Junie, and I'm going to set the level on it to a very low level. Okay. We're going to call it level 4. So I tapped that at level 4. Good girl. And I'm making sure it's on because I'm not seeing any sort of stressful response from Junie. Now, I shouldn't be. Okay. When we use this remote collar and we use the prong collar, we want to be really clear. These tools are for guiding the dog. They're not for controlling the dog. They're for communicating to the dog. They're not for managing the dog. So when we're using our prong collar or when we're using the remote collar, we got to make sure that the dog is responding when we're using a very small amount of pressure. And gradually we work up to using more pressure. And we can be sure then that if we yank on that prong collar, the dog's going to be like, whoa, sorry about that. What do you want me to do? And same thing with the remote. We start low, and then if we at a certain point go, Junie, whoa, stop, what are you doing? She's going to go, okay, no problem, I'll stop. But if we start with the prong collar and we let the dog pull us around on that thing all the time, pretty soon they just ignore it. And it's the same thing with the remote collar. If we overwhelm the dog early on in remote collar training, the dog will ignore the remote collar, okay? So all I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do a little obedience demonstration. I got my treat pouch here, I got Junie here, and I got my remote collar. It's at level 5 out of 100. This is electrical stimulation. It's a very low level, okay? So I'm going to tell her a command. Down. I'm going to hold the button, release it, treat, give her food, okay? And I'm just going to go over 2 commands at first, which is going to be down and let's go. Let's go. Hold the button, release the button. Good girl. She's still finishing her food. Down. Hold the button, release the button. Good girl. Let's go. Hold the button, release the button. Good girl. Down. Hold the button, release the button. Good girl. Treat. And then I give food. Now, what I would love to see everybody in that household do is like just use one word like treat, and you're going to give Junie treats and you're not going to fake her out and you're not going to trick her. And then use good girl to mean like you love her, she's great, you're going to pet her. But use one word like treat to mean, hey, if we say this, we're going to give you food. And every time, ideally, before you give her treats, you say that word. Treat. so that she's excited. And one day, if you call her and she's running down to the beach and you go, Junie, come, treat, she's going to come running over because she knows you got food. So down, hold the button, release, treat. Let's go. Hold the button, release, treat. Down, hold the button, release, treat. Let's go. Hold the button, release, treat. She's trying to eat too fast. Here you go, mama. So we just gone over her down and let's go. Let's work on something else with her, okay? Let's work on recall. Now, recall can be hard to work on with a dog like Junie because a lot of times she's tuned into you until she's not. So what we're gonna do to practice is we toss food like this, break, and toss a big one she can watch. Break. I'm gonna let her find those treats. I'm gonna walk over here and now watch my body language. This is the body language for come. Junie, come on, let's go. I'm holding the button down. Treat. Give her food. Break. I'm just watching to see when she finishes it. Junie, come. Treat. Break. Junie, come. Yay! Treat. So we can see that when I walk away from her like that, I'm showing her, Junie, come on, let's go. This is the body language for let's go, and this is the body language for come. I'm walking this way, the dog knows we're going that way. Okay? Break. But another type of body language we use for recall is this. This is what I call the warm and fuzzy recall. Junie, come on, June. Yay! Treat. And then I reach in and I give her food. Now you can see there, she didn't want pets, she wanted food. Break. Junie, come. Yay! Good girl. Treat. So we've shown you recall. And let me tap into that about the body language too, right? When I say down, look at my body language for down. Down. Treat. So my body language for down is this. My body language for let's go is this. My body language for follow me, if I recall the dog, come on, let's go. It's like this. Down, treat. A lot of times when we're recalling the dog, we stand like this. Junie, come, Junie, Junie, come. But our body is not saying come. Our body is saying stay. Watch. Stay. Down, stay. Down. Come. Good girl. I wasn't using the remote collar. That's just me showing you your body language. Now I'm going to show you how we send her to her bed. We spend a lot of time with her on her bed. Every day at drop up and pick up when people come and go. Junie's on her bed, waiting here calmly. We've been giving her food a lot of the time, but sometimes, she's just waiting calmly there. Junie, go to your bed. I hold the button. Treat. You notice I didn't say go to your bed like 3 times. I just said it once. She didn't do it. I said or I say no. Good girl. When we're training with a dog, it's like you got to think about teaching a child to read or write or to swim. You don't want to challenge the child too much or they're not going to want to keep learning. But if you never challenge them, they're never going to progress. So incrementally, you have to challenge the dog a little by little. This is very hard in today's day and age because we all want to rush the process, myself included, okay? So as much as part of me wants to put her in a down and then pull out all the dogs and make her stay, I want her to succeed. So when I had her in a down, stay on her place, I had a leash tied to her so that when people came here, she was going to succeed. Good girl, Junie. Let me pull out some dogs just because I wanted you to see that this does work around dogs. Now, there had been some talk about, you don't see how Junie is with us. Junie's nuts with us, okay? Well, personally, I don't want to see Junie be nuts with me because that means I'm doing something wrong. I want to set Junie up for success. by having the right relationship with her, the right structure at home, so that if anything, I just see a little a little bit of stress, a little tiny hint of reactivity, and then I could say, whoa, 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 hey, we got to take a step back. I don't want her to fail. I want her to succeed. But it was interesting to see the more I created a relationship with her, she liked me more, but she lost respect for me. When she first came in, she wasn't jumping on me. If I told her to stop doing something, she'd stop. Once she leveled up the love and started jumping all over me, she wouldn't stop. I told her to stop jumping on me, and she was like, no, I'm having fun right now. Beanie. That was confusing because that was like her name. Junie, no. Place. Beanie, come. Beanie. Be. This is what I mean where I challenge it too much. Beanie, come. Beanie, down. No. Beanie, come. Down. Down. Emma, down. No. Emma, down. Emma, down. Down. Bean, no. Hey, Bean's failed. Bean, get out of here. Go. You're kicked out of the session. This is what I mean, right here, guys. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Beanie clearly is not getting it. So if Beanie continues to get confused and continues to not get it, it's not fair to say that Beanie is stubborn, Beanie is crazy. It's really, I am the stubborn one because Beanie is telling me, hey man, this isn't working, and I just keep doing it over and over again. Or I am the one who's foolish by thinking, hey, it's clearly not making sense to the dog, and then I'm just going to keep doing it over and over again. No big deal. I put Beanie over in her tree, tied her up. She's fine. Junie, down. Good. Now, when it comes to the remote collar, we're using it at a very low level initially. We're getting in a lot of reps where the dog is feeling a little tingling sensation. They go onto the bed, the tingling sensation goes away, they get a treat. Okay? Eventually, yes, we start using more pressure. So we're telling the dog, hey, look, this sensation that you feel on your neck, it's actually not good. And what you're doing is not good. So stop doing that and make a good choice. The whole goal with the prong collar and the remote collar is to have a dog that's making choices. And if they get confused, they look up at us and they go, hey, what do you want me to do? But if we rush the process and we go too far, they're not going to look up at us and try to figure out what to do. They're going to go, I'm going to try to solve this problem myself. Good girl, Junie. Good. So I'm just going to run through her commands one last time because I want you to see how good she's doing. We got Emma here. We got a dog here tied up. We got another dog tied up there. Okay. But the goal, if I was to hand over a remote collar to Junie and her team, would be this. We're going to practice in a calm environment when nothing is happening. We do not want her to associate this with people coming over. We don't want her to associate this with being crazy and being out of her mind. If we wanted to get her excited and use the remote, that would be done through playing with her with a toy initially. Okay, so let me run her through her commands. Junie, let's go. Good girl, Junie. Junie, down. Good. No, down. I'm not going to stress that. Sounds great to me. No. Place. No. Place. No. No. Place. No. Now here you can see I have to use the leash to guide her into the position because she's confused. If I just say down 6 times, she's not going to know what I'm saying. So we got to use the leash to guide the dog physically to make the right choices, okay? Or we use our body language. But if we just sit here and say things over and over again, we should all be working together as a team to be like, you're untraining the dog. You're saying things, the dog's not responding. Stop saying things. Do something. Come on, Emma. We have to make little distractions. It's just like when we go to the gym. We don't go to the gym and then add on 300 pounds all at once. We add on 10 pounds, 20 pounds. Finally, we get up to 300 pounds. And it's the same thing with dog training. We have to train the dog in a low distraction environment and then make tiny distractions. Maybe the roommate's coming home. We master the obedience when the roommate comes in the house. And then we see if we actually have any problems when the person who she feels intimidated by comes in the house. Okay, we have the roommate test her. We have the roommate tempt her. We have the roommate pull out a pizza or whatever. And we use a distraction that the dog's not scared of to practice around distractions. Good, Emma. And I'm impressed. Junie's doing really good. Treat. Good girl, Junie. Treat. Okay, and that's that, folks. Obedience sessions, it should just be like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It's just like when you're warming up for a workout or you're doing sprints or you're doing a couple exercises at the gym. It doesn't have to be a long 45-minute or 1 hour session. We may not be able to handle that, and the dog may get bored too. So we work with the dog for 5, 10, 15 minutes. And in this case, hopefully we get people to understand this is a tool that requires a lot of practice and mastery if we truly want the dog to succeed and be happy and obedient and not afraid. But if we use this or we use the prong collar like this, where we're just threatening the dog, that's not going to work with some dogs. And even with the dogs that it is going to work, people are going to look at us and be like, yeah, your dog's scared. Of course they're looking. Of course they're listening. So we end on this high note. Junie did really good. Hopefully you're all proud of her. I know I'm proud of her. But it's just like that, folks. 15 minutes, several times a day. That's all the goal should be. And once Junie's gone a potty and she's gone to the bathroom, we should really be just going, hey, can somebody do a little short obedience routine with her? Can somebody practice having her hold her downstay and ring the doorbell 10 times? If we really want to be there for Junie, we got to do the things that are feeling good to her and increasing her good behavior. But if we're taking her in over her head, down into the deep end of the swimming pool or at the end of the Santa Barbara Pier to practice swimming because we want to go for a swim, hey, we might just wait for a little bit, keep practicing with her, and eventually we'll be able to take her there. Okay? Thank you for helping Emma. Thank you for helping Bean. And thank you for helping little man Milo. Okay, thanks, folks. We'll see you then. Take care.